What is up, y'all, and welcome to The Real Ray with me, Ray. Today we're going to be continuing in our Wella Color Charm toning series. If you're new here, I am Ray, and this channel does a lot of home, hair, and beauty, and then we also have a Whimsical Wednesday where I just do like whatever fun shenanigans I want to do that week, which may or may not be related to hair. Anyway, if you're new, welcome. If you're returning back, welcome back, and let's get started talking more about the Wella Color Charm toners. Now, in our first video talking about the Wella Color Charm toners, we toned Susan, who we had lifted with bleach and no foils. And so she was still pretty orange, and so it didn't do a ton. It did definitely all around make it a more like livable color. But then in our previous video, we went ahead and lifted her up, at least like the top sections, to a light yellow via foil. So if you missed that, I will put a link in the description. So without further ado, let's get toning her, which I actually did at the salon. So I will get the footage up there. So in the very front section, just like we did on the first video, we used the 8 ash, which 8's gonna be the level. And so this one's not so much a toner, but sort of a toner because that's the level I wanted to do her bangs at. That's what we did the first time. And so on each of these sections, I did like the toner by itself first, and then on the other half of the section, I went ahead and added in the cooling violet additive, and I did a capsule this video and last video to the remaining parts of the color. First portion, we did that, and that needs to sit on like 30 to 45 minutes, I think. And all of these are double developer to color. The next section on this side, we used the Wella T10 toner, which is pale blonde. And the section next to it, once again, we used the cooling violet. The back first section, I used the Wella T10 lightest blonde, lightest beige blonde. And then, you know, again, we used the cooling violet additive on the other half of that to see what it did. Section next to it in the back, we used the Wella pale ash blonde, and then the Wella cooling violet additive next to it. And finally, the Wella T18, which is lightest ash blonde. And then next to it, again, the Wella violet additive. And here she is and how she turned out. All right, so here is our 8 ash, and on this side we just had the regular by itself. Then we put the violet over here, which you can see it looks just like a smidge darker right there versus here. Hopefully you can see that. And that would be why I'm adding the ash in. But I don't know that it, like on any of these, it really did anything super dramatic adding the ash in, so I don't know. All right, on this side, we have the T10 right here and the T10 plus the violet. Again, you can see it's just like a little bit darker right here. So without the violet plus the violet. And scooting around to the back quadrant, same thing. We've got our T11. So this is gonna be the beige one. And I truly like can't tell a difference at all where the violet was added. Then this quadrant, we did T14. Like you can sort of tell like right here with the violet, and it probably doesn't help that underneath is her previously toned self. And then the T18 right here. This one you can tell. So right here is where we added the violet, and right here is without it. So that one you can tell the difference. But she turned out really good. I think that these toners worked really well. I don't think that there is a bad option within them. So they're a win for me. And just for like a fun reference point, you know, I told y'all in the last video that we just did some back-to-back foils on top instead of doing all of them. But this is what she was before we foiled, after we toned the last go round, and this is what the toner did on the appropriate level. So as you can see, like it's a pretty dramatic difference on all of them. Let's see, let's move her over. Yeah, like toner on the orange hair versus toner on the correct level hair. Like a huge difference, y'all. I even think that the 8 ash like looks dramatically different. Up under here is before we lifted it more, right? Still pretty orange. And then on top, not as orange. Well, that's pulled over from there, but. All right, y'all, if you enjoyed this video, make sure and hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that for me, please. It helps me to grow my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching and hanging out with me and Susan. We'll probably lift her up to like a super light blonde and play with these toners one more time. I think I've got enough left in all the bottles to do that. But I think she turned out really nice. Let me know what you think in the comments below and what you plan to tone your hair with. All right, y'all, I will see your beautiful faces so soon. It's the real Ray. Bye.